showing we don't need roads.
Ladies, this is an absolute honor. Thank you for taking the time. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Jennifer, I'm going to start with you, and I'd love to talk about two specific moments with you. The moment you realized that just watching this story on the news really wasn't enough, that we needed a gifted storyteller on the ground, sort of talking to people. But also, I'd love to ask about the moment you realized, I'm Jennifer Lawrence. I am in a position in life to be able to actually make that happen, because we all want stories like this, but you can actually make it a reality.
Yeah, it was in 2021, when I was watching what was happening on the news, I was overcome with sadness, obviously, for what was happening to the women in Afghanistan, losing all of their rights overnight, and desperately wanted to be able to do something, and felt really helpless. And at the same time, felt really frustrated by knowing that this is a part of the 24-hour news cycle, and that this is something that's just, people are going to go about their lives because Afghanistan is far away, and we don't have to think about it. And that was where the idea of making a film came into play. And we were fortunate enough that Sahra was available. We knew her work from 1,000 Girls Like Me, a documentary she made, and by the time we reached out to her, she was already gathering footage from women on the ground in Afghanistan.
Sahra, I by no means am I trying to compare the two, but whenever I'm working on a news story here in Chicago, there's a moment I find myself where oftentimes I will hit halfway through crafting the story, and then I think, oh my God, this is not working. I've lost the story. It's not coming together the way I needed to. I'm genuinely curious, for you, was there ever that moment where you were on the ground telling the story and you ever started to doubt yourself? And if so, how do you overcome something like that?
You're right. It was the moment that I thought, how can I do my best? Because when these two women generously they share their platform with women of Afghanistan, and they trust me as a filmmaker, so I want to do my best that Afghan women get heard and share their story with larger platform and use the tool of cinema. But the good thing is I love what I am doing, and when there is a question of storytelling, I feel a bit confidence to tell the story. But the good thing is, in editing room, we had a lot of discussion with my producer, and especially Jennifer and Justin. They managed to fly to Sweden, stay with us in editing room, and we had a long discussion about how to tell the story. So it's collaboration work.
You said the tool of cinema, which perfectly leads into my next question. Malala, at a time when the voices of women are being silenced and erased, I want to talk about the power of art. How does, in your opinion, how does film and literature and music work as a resistance of sorts? In what way do movies like this, just art in general, help give a voice back to people?
The Taliban are attempting to erase women from public life. They are also deliberately excluding women from the agenda of the conversations that they are holding with the different country leaders. And at the same time, they insist on excluding women from those rooms as well. That happened very recently in June in the third Doha talks, where the Taliban put a demand that they don't want Afghan women activists and civil society in those rooms. So that is the reality of what the Taliban want. I believe that this documentary is a form of resistance against the Taliban's attempt to make them invisible, because this documentary gives visibility to Afghan women. And what is unique about this documentary, that it is told by the three Afghan women themselves directly. They're filming their lives. They're showing us how they are losing their jobs, losing their freedom to go outside their home, losing their freedom to get their education. They're losing all of their human rights that they had before, which they themselves had worked so hard for. So I believe that this documentary is a form of resistance, and I hope that it brings attention to the reality of living under the systematic oppression of the Taliban, which Afghan women activists have been calling a gender apartheid. And I hope that the Taliban are held accountable for what they're doing. This is a crime against humanity. It should be recognized, as such, and what they are doing should be called a crime.
Well, I'm very excited for more people to see this film because this is a story that needs to be told. Ladies, this is truly, genuinely an honor to be able to do this interview. And I know you have a very busy day. So seriously, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.